What's up, Kobe?
How you guys doing?
Kobe Bryant sitting down with us. Good to see you out here, man.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
Hey, Dave and I have been talking a lot about the position battles and all the cornerbacks on this team, and you're out there playing safety. You're playing what's the feeling for you? Are you competing for a nickel corner spot? Are you competing for a safety spot? What's the feeling for you?
I'm competing for everything. That's what I'm gonna do is compete. That's who I am. That's obviously the culture of this program as well too. However I could contribute on the team, but I'm gonna go out day in and day out. Obviously it's friendly competition, but may the best man win. That's the end of the day for sure.
Yeah. You're my guy, man. I mean, I feel like everybody's talking about everything else. The 4 forced fumbles last year. That's money.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you like playing up inside in the box, safety, anything like that. But I don't know. You've been kind of. I mean, your play obviously speaks volumes. But do you feel like it kind of got lost in the shuffle here, or I mean?
Not really. Actually, it's crazy because Coach Pete actually pulled up. Me and Tariq's turnovers in the team meeting room. Just saying like these were the guys last year, the young guys who contributed in turnovers.
Yeah.
Me and Reek actually probably had the most on defense. Actually, and Quandre as well too. But just to the head coach to recognize that and show the team that it means a lot. But the mentality that I have and the rest of us have is what you do last year is it doesn't matter. It's a new year. Obviously, the job is always to keep going and keep improving. So that's the mentality for sure.
Yeah. So do you have a spot you're most comfortable at? Would you, if it were up to you and they said you play where you want, would you be an outside guy, inside, safety? Where's most comfortable?
Honestly, I'm a football player. Like I've played at this point. I've played every position. I played corner in college. Obviously, I played safety my freshman year of college.
Okay.
And then obviously nickel as well too. So I could play anything. I'm a football player. My IQ, my ability. So I believe I can play everywhere.
Yeah, punt return, kickoff return.
At this point, for sure.
How's your arm? Can you?
I definitely played quarterback in high school too. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Are you the emergency guy if everything goes wrong? Are you the guy?
I hope so. I tell Shane all the time that I can throw the ball too. So.
Do you?
Yeah.
Does he listen?
Yeah, no, he does.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I love that because I mean, look, there's football players and then there's athletes. And there was somebody I won't talk about it, but I think he thought he was an athlete.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're a football player, man. Like, you want to be on the field all the time, and then you're going to ignore little ticky-tack injuries and things
100%.
Like that, right?
100%.
I mean, that's probably part of one of the biggest parts. But tell us how different it felt this year coming back, your second year as opposed to your first year.
Way easier. I have a feel for the defense. It's still the same defense for me. And just like I've seen a lot last year, with me starting. And just like I said, I felt way more comfortable year two. Everyone would tell me, the big jump from year one to year two is unreal. Like you can tell the difference. So just the being comfortable. And I actually been getting complimented from, the coaches just saying how comfortable I looked out there. Good. Even with safety, the same thing. It's just I'm just playing more free now because I'm more comfortable in the defense.
Well, and also, what about just like life in general? Like Pete was talking about, I want the guys to go over and drive and park and make sure they know the whole thing. Like, there's lots of things that when you come from college, like you don't write checks for bills.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, you have lots of stuff to think about when you come in as a rookie, and it's just one less thing. And so now it's almost like the game just slows down, and you're like, I can play. Now,
definitely.
You had a hell of a rookie year.
Yeah, appreciate that.
But yeah, I mean, it's probably just that kind of stuff.
Oh, 100%. Like you said, just as a rookie, you don't know what's going on. You're just going with the flow. You try to lean on vets. Fortunate enough, I had Quandre, Jamal as well too. But mainly Quandre. Who was just like a big brother to me. He showed me the way, took me under his wing right away. So just having that type of vet as a rookie. That doesn't happen often, too. So, just to have him and a couple other guys as well, too, just helped me out and made the transition easy for sure.
What was did you have an off-season plan? Like, okay, I want to work on this part of my game, or I want to get bigger, I want to get smaller. What was there like a checklist? Like, I got to work on this stuff?
Definitely, 100%. Well, for me, I was dealing with, a little minor injury and just getting healthy first is the biggest thing going into the season.
Look at this guy.
That guy's actually calling your guys' game in Green Bay.
Okay.
You might want to introduce yourself.
Definitely.
And just tell him, keep my name out of your mouth. I'm sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
No, you good. But just like I said, just the main thing was just getting healthy, and then like you said, just improving, in coverages and just getting more comfortable at nickel. I actually didn't know I was going to play safety until I came back. So just, doing the little things like run gaps, studying more film, whatever the case may be, I just try to improve in every aspect as well. But the two main things were definitely coverage and, just my IQ as well, too.
Yeah. You ever get in any situations where it's like, okay, I got to take on a dude that's like a guard?
Oh, 100%.
What do you got, man?
Last year, for me, it was definitely Trent Williams. Like, they my first game starting, they threw a screen to Debo, and I just, thank God my head was on the swivel because he was coming, directly at me to, take my head off, and I just stepped back, and he just did, a front flip in front of me. So I'm like, oh, man, that's when I know, okay, yeah, every time we play them, I have to keep my eye on him.
It's like a building falling in front of you.
100%. So he was definitely trying to, take it out on me, but just, things like that, I definitely, going against tackles, I've never been going against a tackle in my life, so.
Yeah, wise move by you, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
That dude he's
elite,
He's
for
one
sure.
of the guys I look at and I covet. I wish we had him on our team.
Oh, for sure,
but,
for sure.
But, yeah, I mean, look, you've got, you're giving up size,
Yeah.
and you're playing in the box, but you've got quickness and
Yeah.
moves and things like that as long as you don't get out of your gap.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So you working on those? Is that another thing?
Definitely. Like I said, for me last year, I didn't understand run gaps at all until probably about the last 4 games of the season. Me, Coach Scott, Hurt, and Shed as well too, and Nico. We all they sat me down and taught me, the run fits and how I can contribute. And then once I understood that, I understood how to keep the ball on my inside shoulder. And just things like that help your game so much. So, I was, out here when I see it, it's just, it's so natural to me now just because I've seen it all. So,
Carl Scott, I'm sorry, Bob. One last thing.
Yeah.
Carl Scott seems like the most articulate, verbal.
100%.
That dude is. I've watched him coach, and I'm like, he's amazing.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I love Coach Scott. He challenged me from day one, just not just challenge me obviously on the field, but just mentally,
Yeah.
Just even with what I'm dealing with now, playing 3 different positions, that's a challenge for me. But, ultimately that just shows the respect they have for me in my game, and the IQ and everything too.
So you're talking about being out there at safety. You were inside last year. What's the biggest difference in terms of your responsibility when you're out there safety? It's obviously much more open. Way
more open. That's the biggest thing and then the open field tackling, you can't, especially being in the post, you can't just shoot right there. Nickel, you can trigger because, you have the safety over top. But, you being the safety, you're the last line of defense, so you can't let anything get behind you. So your eyes have to be right, and then on pass, if you're in the post, you have to be the deepest of the deepest, because all that gets seen by not only the coaching staff or my teammates, but everyone in the world.
Yes.
So, that's the big responsibility for that. So
I remember after bad plays, laying there going, the whole NFL is going to be watching me make this mistake.
100%.
Yeah, but it's interesting. But just was there a player that you went up against last year when you were a rookie that you were like, damn? I mean, you mentioned Trent Williams.
Yeah.
You did mention Deebo Samuel, but
Right.
was there somebody that stood out to you?
I would say Devontae Adams. He obviously always gets the utmost respect from everybody in the league just because of the type of player he is. Just because I've never dealt with a receiver who can, play his own game and, still create separation that the way he does. That's elite. And just to see that with my own eyes and go against that, it not only makes me better, but it's fun as well, too. So.
Yeah.
Hey, did you take time off between the end of the season? You said you were dealing with an injury, so you probably had to let it heal. But did you get to Hawaii or anything? You go anywhere on vacation?
I didn't really take any vacation, but decided just to see my family. That was the best thing for me. I'm very family-oriented. Just to,
Where's the family?
Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah, just to, deal with my family. My grandmothers, they're going through some things, health-wise. So, I've just been with them, those two, as much as I can. I have a newborn niece, a godson. My best friend has a son, so I've just been dealing with, being around love. That's the biggest thing for me. That's my vacation. So
Good for you. I remember last year when you talked about your dad crying. You were telling the whole story, and I'm like, "You're gonna make me cry now."
Yeah, for sure.
That was awesome.
Yeah, my dad's a super tough guy. I probably only see him cry twice, and that's because he's getting older now. But like just to see him look like that is crazy, you know. But that's my guy though, for sure.
Old people cry a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, we always appreciate the time,
sir.
man.
Thank
It's
you.
going to be fun watching you out there, and we wish you the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yep.
There you go.
For sure.
Kobe Bryant of your Seattle Seahawks spending some time with us. Good to talk to him.